So now Elizabeth Kayser is with us, and Elizabeth is the principal of the Kayser Short Sale Law Center. And Elizabeth, I've known of you for years, but we just recently met. I don't think there's anybody that does what you do, not just locally, but even nationally. You know, really just a short sale attorney wizard.
On an exclusive basis, probably not.
Yeah,
this is
awesome.
pretty much all we do.
Yeah. And you've built up a great staff of attorneys and support people because it's a very specific and very stressful time for the clients.
It is,
and so the first, when and how did you really get into the short sale business?
Sure. Well, back in 2007, I was actually practicing as a claims attorney for one of the largest underwriters, Fidelity National Financial. And my role was to actually go to court, clear title and quiet title petitions, and did a lot of that. Well, being entrepreneurial by nature, started my first business when I was 15. I've always been in the business world, and that's really my first love. Became an attorney, graduated in 96. Uh-huh. My friend came over, and he said, you need to look into short sales. Right. And I had no idea what he was even saying.
In 07?
This would have been in 07, and I had no idea what he was even referring to. Long story short, he hooked me up with an attorney in the East Coast that was his really good friend. And that attorney went to the corporate world. His wife was an attorney. I started working with her. There were law firms in the East Coast doing what we did. And just fast forward, we started doing this, and it mushroomed like crazy
and of
because
course,
the market was crashing.
Yeah, I mean, the
perfect time.
The world fell apart in 07,
right.
And St. Louis, the real estate industry hit a brick wall in June of 07. Bam!
It did.
It just stopped dead.
Yes.
For about a year. Prices didn't go up. It was like waiting for the storm to just, open up and fall down and rain upon everybody.
And banks were closing, and people are worried about the next Great Depression, and it was the wild, wild, wild
It was
west.
a weird time. So you started in the short sale business at the perfect time.
Yes.
And you built your firm around helping who?
Well, we built our firm around helping the homeowners that were victims of this market crash.
Your clients didn't know what to do.
They didn't. And neither did the realtors, because they're thrown into a situation where they're not trained to negotiate with the banks. They're not trained to know anything about deficiency, much less negotiate deficiency and negotiate cash contributions and what it's going to do to the credit and deal with bankruptcy attorneys and divorce attorneys and everything else.
And so that's where you come in, is you actually stand between the homeowner and his bank, his lender.
That's correct.
And you negotiate the price, you negotiate the terms, all of which, there's a lot of legalese and the rules about how that has to happen.
Right, and I really try hard not to speak in legalese because that doesn't help anybody. But what we do is we just simply negotiate, nothing simple about it. But if you really boil it down, we negotiate with the banks and the bank's investors, which is the Fannie Mae and the Freddie Mac and whoever holds the note backing that loan, to accept less than the amount due.